Teachers of Reddit, what's the funniest answer you've gotten from a student that technically wasn't wrong? I asked, when is a time you have used integrity? Single quote. He wrote down, I wash my hands after going to the bathroom, even if no one is in there. My sweet little 7-year-olds overheard a 5th grade boy say, don't be seeking stupid, to his friend. They look up at me, eyes wide, and say, ooh, he said stupid. Teaching English to middle schoolers in Korea. Asked, okay, what's another way you can express surprise in English? After going over expressions like, no way, are you serious? Are you kidding me? Kid yells from the very back of the room, what the fuck? Why are you late? The bell went off before I got here. In grade 9 English we were studying The Hobbit. Our bonus question for the test was, what word does Gollum never say? Quote, the answer of course was I, but one kid put down pumpernickel, and the teacher was like, F***ck, you're right, have a mark. I teach English to Vietnamese kids. I asked, what is the population of Vietnam? The kid quickly surveyed the room and said, more than 15. This guy is going places. Phys. Ed teacher here. I always wear shorts teaching. Parent-teacher conferences roll around. Grade 1 student comes up to me with their parents, Mr. Famous 1187. I've never seen you wear pants before. I've never responded quicker to a comment before in my life to clear that up. College professor. Teaching developmental psychology. At the end of the semester, I asked all the students to write down the most interesting or important thing they learned. One wrote, asterisk, asterisk, babies are stupid and old people still have sex. Asterisk, asterisk, it's not wrong. Kinda covers the lifespan. Not a teacher but someone told me this. What side of the road do people in France drive on? Single quote, miss. They drive on both sides. In a class that deals with electricity, I asked the students to name a good conductor. Asterisk Leonard Bernstein asterisk. In 7th grade on a test the question said, why do some people see some technology as positive, and others see the same technology as a problem? And a kid simply put, because some people are Amish. Name 2 ways to determine the height of a building using a barometer that is exactly 1 meter long. 1. Take the barometer to the top of the building, drop it, and time how long it takes to hit the ground. 2. Find the owner of the building and say, hey, I have this really awesome barometer I'll give you if you tell me how tall your building is. Not a teacher but a fellow student once answered in the head to the question, where was JFK shot? Instead the intended answer of Dallas. I wrote an exam where the question was, can you name 3 asterisk models of DNA replication? Quote, she wrote, no. I've got a story from my fiance's childhood. They were testing her intelligence or awareness, and showed her an image with a TV in a room here. The TV was turned on, showing a cartoon, and had a plant on top of it. Q. What's on the television? A plant. Apparently she just kept insisting in her frustration until the administrator bothered to look at the image and not the answer sheet. The question. Greater than a man has to get a fox, a chicken, and a sack of corn across a river. He has a rowboat, and it can only carry him and one other thing. If the fox and the chicken are left together, the fox will eat the chicken. If the chicken and the corn are left together, the chicken will eat the corn. How does the man do it? Students answer, let the chicken eat the corn, and let the fox eat the chicken. Then bring the fox over. Not the teacher but witnessed this in class. Sociology professor. Why do you conform? Student. It has always been my goal in life to blend in. SOC professor. No more questions for you. On a 3rd grade Charlotte's Web quiz. Give 2 pieces of evidence that support this statement. Charlotte was a good friend to Wilbur. She comforted him and she didn't let him become pork. Not a teacher but just a witness to this hilarity. In science class in high school, our teacher was talking about electricity and lightning and the effects of being electrocuted. He asked if anyone happened to know what is the first sense you lose when struck by lightning. Without missing a beat, a girl put her hand up and answered in all honesty, "Your sense of humor." Quote. Class had to stop for a few minutes until everyone could regain their composure. Okay, so this story totally doesn't translate to English, but I will give it a shot anyway. In German, there is this little drawing game called Das Haus vom Nikolaus, consisting of drawing a house without lifting the pen or drawing the same line twice. Well, the act of drawing something without lifting your pen is called in einem Zug zeichnen, which literally translates to drawing in a train. So yes, one kid actually drew a house in a train. Ask, what is the moral of the story? The little engine that could answered, "Don't pick up hitchhikers." To refresh your memory, the engine had trouble getting up the hill because he had taken on several more passengers due to their train breaking down. Elementary school kids saw the answer key. He swore he came up with answers may vary, all on his own. Not a teacher, but something my brother answered for homework. My brother was in year 1, and his homework was to draw a balloon blown up. He drew a picture with lots of squiggly shapes spread out across the paper. He took it as the balloon blown up, like a bomb, so he drew the leftovers of an exploded balloon. His teacher loved it and gave him full marks. Name something living. Fox. Name something non-living. Fox poop. Not a teacher but a witness. In high school history class, the teacher asked, what was the peace treaty that ended World War II? Quote, this was a trick question because there wasn't a single treaty that ended the war. This one kid blurted out, the Manhattan Project. The teacher laughed so hard he went and got the other history teacher and had the kid tell him the answer too. Teaching grade 5. Students were fooling around during group work, so I said sarcastically, do I need to stand here and watch you do your work? To which the student responded even more sarcastically, well, you don't have to stand. You can grab the chair and sit. I've taught English in Korea and Japan, and while maybe not that funny, one student who wanted to say something like afterwards, or in the end, wrote the after was here. I stopped for a moment and just stared off into space after reading that. My godfather is a lobster fisherman, and all of the kids in the family would go out on the boat with him from time to time. There was a running joke with my uncle, dad and godfather. They would get a kid to bait a trap, then applaud them for being a masturbator. My cousin went back to school after summer vacation, and when the teacher asked what she did that summer, she proudly stated, I became a masturbator. This is intentional, but I teach a foreign language, and so when I introduce the word for, I don't know, I call on a student who typically gets answers wrong, and ask them to translate the word as if he should know it. When the student inevitably responds, I don't know, I tell them they're right, and the look on their face is always priceless. Not a teacher, but I remember something I did when I was in grade 2. The student teacher took us into a private room one by one for eye exams. I've never taken an eye exam before, and it wasn't really explained to me what was happening. I was just sat down and asked to read the first line of the chart, then the second, then the third. By the time it came to the fourth line, I was like, it's too small for me to read. 1 minute please. Then I got up, walked over to the board and started reading the letters. Apparently that's not how you do eye exams. My dad used to coach basketball and was trying to get the kids into a 2-to-3 zone. He yelled out to one kid in particular who was in man-to-man. What defense are we playing? Kid slaps the floor and says, tough defense. Me. The quiz tomorrow will be on. Student. paper. Everyone laughed and I rephrased the question. As an EA, I gave a group of second graders a worksheet about main idea and detail. In the instructions, they were told to circle the main idea and underline the details. One child returned the paper to me very promptly, having underlined the phrase "the main idea" and having circled the details in the instructions. I asked my students to draw a picture of a ninja chicken on an exam this year. One student drew nothing, and pointed out that the chicken was such an effective ninja that he was invisible. Checkmate. Extra credit problem on a test that was very difficult. Like crazy difficult. Involved many steps and probably had to do with finding out the rate of oxygen consumption of reptiles. I hadn't made the answer key yet. Very few students tried any of the extra credit problems and one answered all of them but for that last one they just put, "I don't want to do this problem." Neither did I. Gave them the point.